Enjoy the weed.
Good morning, my friends.
All right, so we're gonna have the exam review. And how many of you actually practice the second exam, exam 2 review questions?
I have not practiced yet, but I intend to.
Okay, so
Yeah, me too. I'm planning to practice
Yeah,
today.
same. I didn't know it was up yet. Sorry.
yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, I saw actually after I saw your email.
Yeah, so it's basically the exam, practice exam 2 is right there. It doesn't really hurt you when you practice. You can practice as many times as you can. There's solutions attached to it, each question. It's pretty much like a replication of the second exam, except for the fact that I might add some z-score over there, and then you can just literally work them out for that reason. So if you practice exam 2, if you get the grade lower than 70 on the exam, I'm going to add 5 points, okay, to it. But if, let's say we get more than 70 on a second exam, so that will replace the lowest quiz grade. So let's say you have one of the quiz that you forgot to do. I'm gonna give you the grade that you deserve when you practice when you practice that. Okay. So if you don't want to do it, it doesn't hurt your grade at all. I still don't count this. Okay. It's just basically a thing. So
to help us.
Yeah, it's basically help us to prepare us for the second exam, and because of the fact that we are experiencing a lot of issues, so I'm doing more work for that generally. So usually, I don't do that, but since we are experiencing a lot of things going on for that part, so the practice exam 2 should be available before the second exam. So remember that we're going to have a second exam on Thursday. So this Thursday, we're going to we're going to basically deal with that. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So this Thursday, we're basically going to do like the binomial, and we need to know how to do the things, permutation, combination, all kind of thing that we just have a review Thursday. So some of you, when you watch the videos, for example, that I feel like it's still not good enough because I don't see the lecture notes, right? So when I watch all the videos, like the lecture video part 8, part 1, part 2, part 3, whatever it is, right? So you can check the lecture notes. So all the things that we did in class is right there. So let's say we have the lecture note for March 24, March 26. You click on it. All of these are in terms of the image file, PNG. So this is what I converted to. So, and then we have April 14 and 16, all kind of things was the part that we have right here. Okay. So we also have quiz 4 review. Well, that's pretty amazing. So you can look at that part. If you have the video available and then you see what it is and took note out of it, you should be fine. If you haven't taken any notes, this is what we have to note right there. That
I would like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you graded quiz 3?
How did I grade quiz number 3?
Have you graded it?
It's literally just I can't open the grade for all of us.
Yeah, because I did it and I sent it to you, but it's not graded. That's why I want to make sure.
Yeah, sometime I didn't. There were certain quizzes that I graded a little bit late. I apologize. So, but the grade should be up after the second exam. So, and everything after the second exam should be up. So let's say you submit it late, and then sometime I forgot to grade it, but so once you did it, it's there. So you don't have to worry about that. So everything should be there. Okay. So they have the record for that. So I can check all the record for you guys, the time that you guys submitted, and so on and so forth. So this is the announcement that we have.
So do we or do we not? Do we still have time to hand in things that are like available on Blackboard?
Yes, absolutely. So for those of you who did not did the classwork, for those of you who sent it by email, I got it. Don't worry about that. This should be all right. This should be graded. So you just don't worry about, like, let's say I did not know if it, whatever it is. So the submission should be on the classwork. You click on the classwork, and then you submit it. You click on classwork 13, and then you uploaded the file over there. So you still have time to do all of that.
Yep. For the second exam, right?
For the second exam.
How are we gonna like do it? Like, are we going to do it on a rough draft? I mean, on paper, and then send it to you through Blackboard, or should we just put the answers?
I'm gonna. No, you have to submit all the work here. Submit exam to work here. Okay. So let's say.
No, like working out. Like, how do we like to show the working out and all of that? How is that done?
Yeah. So this is what you need to show the work. For example, we need to submit work here. Let me just spend a little bit times. Yeah, and submit work here. And I would say make this available. So we get 100 points on the second exam. I'm gonna grade the work in this file. Okay.
So we do the work on the input one. Okay.
Yeah, and you just do no, you just do the work on your paper, and then you submit here. And so you're gonna get 24 hours. I'm not 24 hours. I would say 14 hours. But when you start the exam, it should be when you start the exam, you're gonna have 3 hours and 3 hours, 3.5 hours to finish it. Okay.
Okay. So we should do the work on paper and then send it in.
Yeah, so you're gonna have like you're gonna see something similar to the practice exam 2, right? You're gonna have something similar like exam 2 right here, and then you're gonna have to submit the work here. So you're gonna start the questions. It's pretty much similar to that one. So the test has the limit of 3 hours and 30 minutes, and then we can start. So the second exam pretty much similar to the practice exam 2 that we have right here. So we begin them. And then, so you're going to put them down what it is, and then you move on to save it. You move on to the next questions, and then just put it there. What is this, right? You save it, and you move on to the next questions, and put the answers what it is, and you save it. You put to the next questions, and then.
The thing that I'm asking is, like, do we have to show working out?
Yeah.
Like, how do we? So do we show that on paper and then?
No. You're not going to show work here, because it's very likely that you want to see like a single box, right? You're not going to have any work to be shown in this folder. So the work that you have to show, leave. Yeah. Okay, the work that you have to show, you have to click on this. Okay, click on it, and you click on that folder, and then so for all the work that you have on your phone, you email yourself. So you go to your email, you send an email, you're gonna upload a file, images to your email, and then you draw it out to your computer, and then you browse your computer. So that means I'm gonna submit the work over here. Okay.
So there's
like
two steps.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I said, so there's 2 steps. Basically, we do the Blackboard thing, but then we also submit a file of our work.
Yeah, so if you don't have the work, you don't get points. So let's say I submit the works right here. So let's say I submit what I'm going so far. So let's say I submit the so let's say I submit that one, right? So I submit that, I open it, and then the file is right there. So you can click on it, you can submit another file if you want. So I submit it right, and then click OK. You see that, right? and then I can click. So the work that you done on the phone, right? You convert it to the PDF files, or you can just email yourself, and then you drag them out on the computer, and then you say submitted works right here. I click OK, and then I click submit it. As simple as that. So this is, remember, you have to submit the exam 2 work. It's not like any file. I'm not gonna count any classwork file. You cannot submit in one single folder. So you make sure that you're gonna submit the exam 2 work here, and then I'm gonna grade it on this folder only. Okay. So on this.
So, for the part that we're writing out for exam 2, the work, can we put it in one file and number it, or do you want a file for every question?
What do you mean by for one size or whatever?
Like if we, like let's say there's 15 questions, right? And then we show the work for each question. We can just put that all in one file and number it 1 through 15 and show the work, right?
Yeah. So I would suggest people just let's say we click on that, and so for example we continue it. So I'm gonna write out a question. Some people were so smart that just copy and paste to the Word file, for example. I just copy and paste. You know, some people would just write out a question like that. So question number 1, and if you have a printer, that would be great. But if you don't have the printer, I would suggest you just write it down in terms of the word problem, and making sure that you write down the questions, what it looks like. And then you have to indicate the question. What type of question is that? So question number 5, you put down question number 5 here, and then you then you move on, right? And then you check that, and then you do the same thing for this, and then you move on to save the answers. Okay. So again, when you start the exam, you're gonna have 3 hours and 30 minutes to finish it. Okay.
How many questions?
How many questions? Should be around 16 or 17, but each question is gonna be like small part. It's not gonna be like one whole questions that we have right there, right? For chapter 7, you're gonna have A, B, C, whatever it is. And you do not have A, B, okay? So for this part of exam, you can see that one question's only be like one single thing, right? So it's fair enough. So meaning that one actual question on the exam 2 will be broken down in terms of 2 or 3 questions. So we can see that it's literally more questions.
So 75 questions?
Not 75, around. So we should expect to have around 8 questions on the exam. Each question we're going to have like A, B, maybe A, maybe B, right? So we should expect to have around maybe around 20 to 25 questions. It can be less.
Okay.
It can be less. So, and then you can see that the exam will be very similar to the practical exam 2. The practical exam 2, we have 15 questions. So very likely, the second exam will be around 15 or 17, whatever it is, right? So each question is going to be associated with a certain point. I mean, it's not going to be one point that we have right there. It's literally different point. You have to check them, right? You have to check them. So remember, all we need to do is just put down the answer. So find a probability, which is 0.921, for example, and then we move on to it, and then you click OK, and then we keep going. The probability of n equal to 16, and now this is n equal to 16, so we have to use another formula for that, and then get the probability 0.21, whatever it is. And then we move on.
Will it be pending after we do that and waiting for you to check it before we can redo it?
I don't even check this, to be completely honest. I just go to your folder and see your answers, and then the thing that I'm going to grade will be on this assessment. Okay. Will be on this part. I'm gonna grade your works here. I do not usually. I don't get point if people get the right answers of a second exam, but they don't submit work. I don't get point for that. So I usually just click on it, and I can see how many people submit the work. I grade the exam on this folder.
So
no, I'm talking about the practice. How you said if we get above 70, 5 points, but
make a very good point. So you just put down the answers without showing work. The work the thing that I grade will be here. Why do we have to put down the answers? Because that's going to help me to see whether or not you do it well. Okay, so let's say you get the right answers. I look at your work, it's helped me grade really fast. So I can give you the exam grade faster than just check every single question. Is that fair? So if you give me the answers on the folder, just similar to the practice exam too, I'm going to grade the exam relatively fast. So you're going to put down the answers for that. Let's say probably points 5, 4, 6, whatever it is, and then save the answers, and then I move on to the next question. So by doing that, I literally going to get. Let me see if I just randomly type. What is the chance I'm going to get? I don't even know what I'm doing. But let's say we go to all of that, and let me see if the practice exam actually give us the answers. I have some students saying that the practice exam does not give us the answers. I want to check what it is. How fast, right?
Yeah, that's what I was asking you. Like,
yeah. So I'm gonna check submit it, and let's see if it's actually click OK to view the result. Actually no. Okay, it doesn't give us the answer for that. Okay, let me just go there and check and then change the folder a little bit. Okay, so it should be able to give us the answers. And remember that you can take it as many times as you can. And so the correct submit, after submitting, choose, no, correct answer submitted. So let me just show incorrect questions. Fair enough. And I will say, okay. I click submit it, and let me just do it one more time. I can try as many times as I can, it doesn't matter. So let me just try it again, so bear with me a little bit. I just randomly go, I don't even need to save. Okay. So just do it real quick. Any of you try this?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, what a shame. I shame on you guys. You guys just make me so sad because
I was actually waiting on today after we do the.
yeah, we're gonna
test
do that.
practice,
Yeah, you're gonna. Okay, but let me just finish that real quick, and then we're gonna go to the exam 2 review. And how many of you who watched my video, who watched the lecture video again? None of you.
No,
Not,
I just take notes.
I take notes, so I have to look at them that way. Like it's just
That's
in class it was great, but obviously we had this sudden change, so it's just a different learning curve.
exactly. That is very, very challenging for all of us. For me as well. I have to do extra work for practice exam 2. That is silly, but anyhow, I know the answers here is one, but that submit it and see if actually give us the answers.
This exam is easy, bro.
Yeah, it does. It does give it the answers for that. And oh, what the heck did I put down 199? Yeah, so you can see that the correct answers here, and is that fair?
Yes.
yeah, because then
Yeah.
that might help us see where we messed up at.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is basically it.
I mean, this is a practice exam too. The real exam, will not. I'm not gonna put down the answer for that. Okay, only for practice exam 2. Then I give you the answers. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Will we just have the exam on Thursday, or will we also have class?
No, we have no class on Thursday.
Okay, that's what I
Take
thought.
the exam. So again, the exam will be from 8 a.m. in the morning up to 11:59 p.m. Fair enough.
Yes.
So you have basically you can start the exam at 8 p.m. after having lunch and dinner. So you fold, you watch all the videos, and then you can start the exam immediately. And then so you can finish it in 3.5 hours. So you have to finish the exam. Remember that we have to finish the exam at 11:59 p.m. But you can start and finish early. So you can start at 8 a.m. in the morning and finish it at 11:30 p.m. I'm sorry, not 11:30 p.m. It's gonna be like 11:30 a.m. So remember that the exam will be 3 hours and 30 minutes. 3 hours and 30 minutes. So it's almost double the time that we have from the
So
third
did
exam, right?
did you set it up where we'll be able to do the questions we feel more comfortable with first and then
No,
go
no,
back
no.
and
You can go back to questions, but what I'm saying, you have to keep going. And I did not really set up the thing, but the questions start one at a time. So we have to do. So if you, let's say you don't know how to do it, so you just leave blank, and then you go back to, and then go to the next one, and then you can come
that's
back.
what I'm saying. If we go to the next one, can we go back and do that?
Yeah, you can go back there. But
Okay.
you cannot. You only have one attempt. Okay, it's not like multiple attempts. This is a practical exam. This is not true. We only have one attempt to do the exam. So make sure that once you start it, you have to make sure that your internet connection works. Your calculator is not running out of battery. Okay.
Mhm.
So you only have one attempt. You cannot start again. Even if you start again, the number will be different. But I do not allow people to start them again. So once you start it, you have to finish it. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as we could go back to the questions and that
Yeah,
would
you
be
can go
good.
back to the
Because
question.
we don't want the time to be ticking and we're working on another problem that we feel more
You can
comfortable with.
no. What I'm saying is that you can't just write another question and then you skip it. I don't even grade the exam on this title folder, right? I only grade the work that you did on the paper. That is the most important thing. Fair enough.
Yeah, fair.
All right. So let's start the exam 2 review. Are we good?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what are we up to right now?
We in chapter 6. We did one problem of chapter 6 last week.
Should we do one more problem, chapter 6?
No,
No?
why not?
No. We should.
Why
Right?
not?
Why not? Yes, that is true. So we should do that. I think we did. Did we do question number 48?
No, we did one with 40%. I'm not sure what question is that.
Yeah, 40%. Oh my goodness! I actually give. I plan to give this 40% question on the exam.
Okay.
Anyhow, let's do. Did we do question number 39? No, right? So let me just do that. Fair enough. So question number 39. All right, I'm gonna copy and paste these questions on this folder. Everybody sees that? Clear?
Yeah.
All right. So this is very important. So we're gonna put it out. And how do you know this is on chapter 6? How do you know this is on chapter 6? Can somebody tell me how do you feel and what do you know when you see this question? And the question asks us to look for what? The probability. Do we agree? So this is the probability. And what else do we know?
No more than.
No more than. Very, very good. No more than 4. And pretend not to be home on Halloween. And what else? So we have the P right here, 45%. Right, and then we have the random sample. I really don't want to do the question. This is a really, really long question. So the questions gives us the n equal to what?
20.
20.
N equal to 20, and then the p equal to 0.45. So again, that if the questions gives us something like that, and so can I change the n? I don't want to get like a really big n. Usually the exam should be small n. Can I change that to A?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the reason why I don't want to go to the chart table 2, and then I literally just go all the way down to 20. You see how big of that 20 is? It's really, really big deal for us to look at the value. I mean, the 20 is basically the same, just the concept. Do you agree? And so I'm going to change that to n equal to 8. 8 is easy for me to do. Okay. Or 11. I might give you the question with 11. And this is n equal to 8 adults. All right. So what the question is asking us is we want to look for. So what is the first step that we need to do? So this is a thing that we have to do table 2, right? Do we agree? Why we have to do table 2? Because the question gives us n and p, correct? And p and r. Are we good? right? So the N and P should be given at the very beginning of the question. Okay, so this is a thing that we should take note. And then how do we know if the question gives if the question gives us the R? So this should be given from the question, right? The question A, B, but remember, we don't have part A and part B on the exam. We only have the questions. That's it. And now what we need to do is that we go to the N equal to A, correct? Right, table number 2. Then we have to go to N equal to A, right? It's easy for me to copy and paste. Do we agree? And so I'm gonna paste that where we have to go to N equal to A and P equal to 0.45, which is that one, correct? Yes or no? And so meaning that I'm gonna copy this 0.45. Okay. And I copy that to this. And then we also have that one to be copied. And I copy that as well. Everybody sees that?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so the N, P, and R. So this is the P equal to 0.45. And this is the R from 0 to 8, right? You cannot get R more than 8 in this case, right? You can only have at most 8 people who cannot to be home on Halloween, right? But you cannot have 9, 10, whatever it is. So now I need to analyze the keyword no more than. Do we agree? Can somebody tell me what is the keyword no more than going to tell us? No more than. So let's say I would say no more than 2. What does it mean?
2 or less.
Which is 0, 1, and 2, right? 2 or
Yeah.
less, or 2 or fewer. And I would say at most 2. Same thing, correct? At most 2. I mean, the maximum number is 2, right?
Yeah.
And if I say no less than 2,
Would be the greater than sign.
so that would be 2 or more, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. And if I want to look at least 2, can somebody tell me what it is, at least 2?
It's the same. It's 2 or 3 or 4 or going up.
Very good. And if I want to go for fewer than 2 or less than 2,
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
fewer than 2 or less than 2. Fewer than 2.
0 or 1.
Go backwards.
We go backward, but we don't count 2, right? This is a thing that we need to do. And more than 2, we go forward. But do we count 2 in this case? More than 2. No. So we're going to count from 3, 4, 5, and 6, so on and so forth. Are we good?
No, because fewer than 2 shouldn't include 2, right?
Oh, yeah, we should not include 2. I apologize for that. Very good pick for this part. I'm going to make it a little smaller for us. Okay, so now we're going to go to these questions for that part real quick. So the probability of no more than 4. So can somebody tell me how should I write? So the probability of no more than 4. So what should I add? So we're going to add from 0, 1, and what else? 2, 3, and 4. So, and can somebody help me? What is the value that we should add? Can somebody tell me, read that on this chart? So what is a 0?
Oh, 0.008.
8 plus 0.055 plus 0.157 plus 0.257 plus 0.263. Correct?
Yeah.
And so how can I add this? Should we add it by hand? No, right?
No.
Oh, we have a calculator. Remember, we have a magic calculator right here. This is the thing that we see. It doesn't cost anything. And so Oh my goodness, why it took so long. Oops. Okay, my computer sucks, to be completely honest. But I don't want to get one because I have a lot of important files. So you see that it took forever to get it done. Wow, I have like 5 magic calculators at the same time. That's wonderful. And so now we're gonna take a look at that. We can see that we're gonna add 0.008 plus 0.055 plus 0.157 plus 0.257 plus 0.263. So what the answer will be 0.74. Are we good? Correct. So, and then what is the part B of the question? The part B of the questions asking us to find the expected value and the standard deviations, right? Are we good? The part B of the questions. I'm going to make it a little bigger, 16. Are we good? How can they find the expected value and the standard deviation? So we're going to go to that one, correct? So we're going to copy that. And this is the formula we're going to use, correct? So this is the mean and this is the standard deviation. We need to do that. On the exam, you'll be given by the mean and standard deviations, given by the informer for that. So let's say one question is asking us to do the expected values or the expected numbers. So another keyword for that, another keyword for value will be the number. So I might change that to, instead of giving you the expected value, I might give you expected number, okay? So they mean the same. So I want to compute the mean. So the mean that we have here will be what? Will be n times p, correct? Right? Can somebody tell me what the n is?
N is 8.
N is 8. And p?
0.45.
And then we're going to multiply them, correct? So when
Yeah.
we multiply that, we're going to get 3.6. Correct? I'm not sure. So let me multiply them. And please mute your microphone a little bit when there's a background noises. I appreciate it. So the answer for that is 3.6. And then we're going to go to the standard deviation. What is the standard deviation, everybody? The standard deviation will be the radicands of n times p and times q, correct? But some of you ask me, hey, what is the q is? So the q is 1 minus p. Very good.
Yeah.
1 minus p. Remember, not 1 minus n. When you do 1 minus n, you're going to get it wrong. The calculator will not be able to perform it. So we're going to take n equal to a, and then times p is 0.45. Okay, how can I get the q? Q is 1 minus 0.45 is 0.55. Let me just do it right here. Okay, so let me just take 1 minus the p, so which is 1 minus 0.45, and we're gonna get the answers, which is 0.55. Okay, are we good? How can I do this calculation on a calculator? Can somebody tell me what I should do? So I can just take, we're gonna hit the square root, right? Second, and hit the x squared. Remember, you have to hit the second. If you don't hit the second, you're gonna get something like that, right? We don't get the we don't get the square. We're gonna hit the second, and then x squared, and then I'm gonna put down 8 times 0.45 times 0.55. Okay, and then we close the parentheses, and then you hit enter. So the answer for that is 1.407, right, or 1.4. Are we good?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Anyone still know how to do the combination and permutation part? Okay, that's pretty much a thing that we have to do on chapter 6. Can we move on to the next part?
Yep.
And sir, the way how we know how it's chapter 6 is like if it has a percentage in the question,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If the question gives us the n, and what is the n? The n should be the whole number, right? The whole number. So
And
let's put them down.
and the percent. Okay.
And the percentage should be in terms of the. I mean percentage. Okay, percent in terms of percentage. There's no other way out, right? So the n should be the whole numbers, and then the p should be the percentage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. So percentage. Okay.
Okay.
And then making sure that we highlight this box. So the most important thing that if the question uses something like that, that's going to be on table 2. And then we also have the mean, the standard deviations given by that. We don't have to route out our answers. Usually I route it up for you, okay? You can route down or route up, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm gonna, when I make up the exams, I usually make it like route up or down, route up or down, okay? Route up or route down, maybe 0.01, okay? So make sure that you're gonna keep the answers with 2 decimal number. For example, when you compute a mean, we compute the average, we get 3.6. That's fine. This should be the whole numbers. I do not route up or do not route down, but usually for the standard deviation that you have to keep me 2 decimal number. Okay, for that part. And you can either route up or down. Anyhow, so we're gonna move on to the next chapter. Do we agree? So the next chapter will be on chapter 7. So what is a chapter 7 looks like? So we need to know how to compute this one first, correct? So I'm gonna copy and paste this part to this column. So what we need to do, let me do 13. Do we have to sketch? No, right? So again, we don't have to sketch on the exam, but what we need to do is that we need to know which chart. Whenever you see the Z, which table should we use? Long time ago, right? It was like almost a month ago. Z less than something. Positive, negative Z table.
Oh, yeah.
Which table should we use? Anyone?
Yeah, negative. Positive Z is table 3A and negative Z is table 3.
Very good. This is table 3 for negative Z. And table 3A for positive Z. And positive Z. So the exam pretty much like open notes, right? We're not gonna see each other. So if you cannot do well, what can I do? Should I give everybody 100 and then we move on to the next part?
Sound good to me.
That'll be good.
I'm down with it. Just let me know how much you need.
That doesn't make sense to me. I don't even call out the name. I know most of you guys' name in this classroom, but I don't want you to be biased when I grade your exam. So showing work will be the thing that you're gonna get a really good grade. If you only give me the answers without showing me the work, I'm not gonna give point on this questions. Okay, I'm not gonna give point on this type of question. So so let's say we're gonna do like 1.65. What should we do? Anyone? Then we're gonna go to table number 3, A or B.
That's a positive.
Positive. Then we go to, so when you go to the negative chart, there's no way that we're gonna go to negative 1.6, right? This is negative part, so it cannot use this chart. So we're gonna go to positive 1.6 and 0.05. What do you get? We got 0.9505. Do you agree? Very good. And that's 0.9505. Are we good? So you have to sketch this. Remember that the work that you show, I mean, you don't have to sketch the graph, but what I'm saying, you have to give me where you get this chart done. So first, we're going to go to table number 3B. I'm sorry, 3A. And then we're going to put down the z of 1.6, and then 0.05. And so we're gonna get the answers is 0.9505. Are we good? You have to write this down to make sure that we get this done. I got a couple of people who actually got these answers on the classwork number 11, but they got like 0.950 something. I know that person using other software or maybe asking people for help. So I know that people might do that on the exam, but please don't. Right? You're gonna just literally do the exam like that. Are we good?
Yes.
The same thing for 1.91. So can somebody tell me what the value is? So that will be 0.9719. Are we good?
Yeah.
And is it the final answers?
No, because it's
Long time.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not. All right. So what should we do in this case?
1 minus.
One
Very
minus.
good. We're gonna take 1 minus that, and so so the answer that we have here, and do the calculator, 1 minus 0.9719. So we got the answer is 0.0201, 0.0281. Are we good? And so how can we get this value 0.9719? You remember that you have to show me the work. You cannot just like just tell me this is what I got. You cannot just write down on your work like 0.0281. I do not get point. So you're gonna write them down. So yes, the first step, I'm gonna go to 1.9, and then I go to 0.01. So I got the answer, which is 0.0281. Okay, so similarly, we have this part that we have to go to 0.21, right? Negative 0.21. So because this guy is negative, then we have to go to negative 0.2, negative 0.2, right? And 0.01 as well. Can somebody tell me what the value is? We have to go to a negative chart, correct? So negative 0.2 and 0.01. So the answer should be
4168.
0.4168. So remember, this is in terms of probability. So the value should be less than 1, right? But you got to be really careful. Don't mess up with the permutations and the thing that we have earlier. And we do the same thing for this part. And so for 2.32, so we're going to go to 2.3 and 0.02. And we're going to get this done. So so when you read the chart, so this is on table number 3A, 2.3, and 0.02. So the answer is 0.9898, correct? And so this was pretty much thing. All right. So what else? What should we do? We're gonna take the bigger probability, subtract the smaller, correct? I might give you this question like that on the exam. So we're gonna take the bigger probability. So the bigger probability that we have is 0.9898 minus 0.4168. And of course that we're not gonna do it by hand because we have a calculator. We have a magic calculator for that. Oops. 0.9898 minus 0.4168. Okay, so we got the answer, which is 0.573. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much a thing. And let me just, anyway, so we good. Now we're gonna go to the next part. Are we good? 7. Which chapter 7 should be like? Should we do? Did we do this question before? So let's do question number 18, or maybe not a good question to do. I don't know. 18 was too easy. I feel like 18 was too easy. But let's do 18 anyway. So the 18 question should be this part, right? So the first part of it. Remember, for chapter 7, you got to be really careful for that, okay? So the question going to give us the mean and the standard deviation. So the mean and standard deviation equal to 100 points on average, the standard test. And the standard deviation equal to 15. Okay. So what's going on for that part? We need to, for this type of question, what should we do? So we need to be careful, right? So for the sign less than, usually is followed by the keyword. Then we don't have to change the answers. Just read the chart and then finish it. Just what we did right here for the z-score. Right? Just read the chart, finish it. But when we come to the greater than, you're going to take 1 minus p. This is a strategy. And I know this is pretty much like a long section, and we forgot it. So I would like to ask people, how can we identify the sign less than? What is the key word for the sign less than? Anyone know? Remember, we only have a sign less than or bigger than or between, okay? So less than should be the keyword less than, right? Below, we just have the fall below right there, right? And then fall below, I should make it a little smaller. Less than, below, no more than, right? No more than, or what else? At most, okay? Very important. And we're gonna use the sign greater than for chapter 7 is when we have a certain keyword such as more than, above, right? And what else? At least. And of course, we have the keyword no less than, mean greater than. Okay, so we're going to analyze this too, and to understand that this is really important to have this. Okay, so, and then we also have this part. Remember, chapter 7 will be the most point question that we have on the exam. Remember that. Let me just repeat that again. Chapter 7 will be the most point that we receive on the exam.
Bye.
Are we good?
Good.
Yes or no?
How can you tell the difference between chapter 7.2 and chapter 7.3 because they're very similar?
Yeah, they're 7.2 and 7.3. So the question is, how can we know the difference? So if the question does not give n, right? What is the transformation that we have to do? So the transformation will be equal to the z equal to x minus the mean and divided by the standard deviation, correct? Right? Yes or no? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. So pretty much this question that we have to do it like that. So so the question you can analyze it. Find the percentage of the score that will fall below. So fall below. So fall below mean what?
Less than 110.
Yeah. So you're gonna find percentage of the score. Score means called x, right? And less than 110. Right? So and then we can just I don't think that I actually do a fantastic job of closing the parentheses. Okay, so what we need to do, we're going to rewrite this, the probability of x less than 110. I need to zoom a little bigger for us to easily see them. Are we good? And then we convert to the z. Less than. Remember that if the psi is less than, then we do not change that. So the first step that we're gonna convert to the z-score. There's no n. Do we see the n's here? No, right? So no n. No n for this type of questions. So we're gonna do the z equal to what? So we're gonna take the z equal to 110. Minus, what is the mean? The mean is equal to 100, right? We subtract the mean. Remember, we take the x right here given, we subtract the mean is 100, and then we divide it by 15. Correct?
Yes.
So when we divide it by 15, what do you have? Can somebody help me do the math real quick? So remember, we have to open and close the
103.
parentheses.
103.3.
103.3? No. You have to close or open and close the parentheses. This is what I add. So if you don't open and close the parentheses,
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna get, so for example, this is a very important thing. So let's say I don't close the parentheses. I'm gonna get 103.3. Yeah, one thing. Yeah, we have to open the parentheses. We're gonna take 110. Remember, the z-score should be relatively smaller, and 100, and then we close it, right? And then we divide it by 15, and we're gonna get the answer, which is 0.66 or 0.67. Are we good? Okay, so we're gonna get 0.67, and I'm gonna put it right here as well. So remember, we convert the x to the z-score. After we get to the 0.67, what should we do next? We're gonna go this one to table number 3 or 3A.
3A.
Then we have to go to 3A, right? So when we go to table 3A, 0.67 or 0.66, what is the answers? 0.67. I got the answer, which is 0.786. All right. If you give me 0.7454 or 0.7486, you both get the same answers. You both get the same question, because I'm gonna route either a 0.01 decimal number, so it cannot be like, it cannot be so small, right? So if you get both of these answers, that should be correct. So just don't worry about that. So the answer will be 0.786 or 0.7454. So, and so the answer for that would be 0.7486. Are we good? Are we good?
Okay, you go back for a second.
Yeah, okay, I'm just trying, if you can, that screen. Can we?
Do we have to subtract from 1?
No.
No, do not subtract from 1. We only subtract from 1 when we see the sign.
Greater sign.
Very good. So this will be the final answers. Are we good?
Yep.
Okay, so let me just draw the chart real quick. Remember that we need to show the work for that part. And we're gonna get 0.6. And then we're gonna get 0.07. And then the answer for that is 0.7486. Okay, so that's pretty much the question that we have right here, and this is the final answer. I'm gonna box them. So now we're gonna go to the part B questions. Am I going too fast?
Oh.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so we want to check for part B of the questions. The part B of the question is, so the part B gives us the n, right? So some of you might be asking me, there's an n, so the n in this case will be equal to 10, right? Correct? So that should be a different story for that part. And then the question also asks us the probability of the mean score will be the x. 4 below, so below mean less than, right? Is below mean less than. How do you know? Below right there. Okay, I actually add them up right there. Less than 114. Okay, so this is all we need to write them there. So the probability of x bar less than 1, 4. So this is the n, right? This is that we concerning the n for this part. And we also below the sign less than. Okay. And so we convert to the z-score. Are we good? We convert
couldn't hear.
z-score.
We couldn't hear you.
Oh, because my internet connection is unstable. I'm gonna fail the second exam because of that. Can you hear me so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then I might need to change the connection a little bit. I have two connections. One is for 5G and one is for 3G. So a 2G anyway. So sometime when I connect it on my laptop or
So you gotta turn that 3G off, Professor.
So this is what happened. And now we're gonna take we open the parentheses, right? We're gonna do the x. We take the x 114, and we minus the mean is 100, right? And then after that we divide it by the standard deviations. Remember that you have to open and close parentheses, and we divide it by 15. Again, the 15 will still be unchanged, and then after that we multiply by the radical 10, because we have 10 tests. Are we good? So,
Yes,
so we're gonna take 114 minus 100 divided by 15, right? So remember, you have to open and close parentheses, and after that we multiply by. How can we take the square root? We're gonna hit the seconds, and then the square root, and then you put down 10. We close parentheses, and then we get the answer, which is
2.95.
2.95. So this is 2.95. And so this guy is positive. Do we agree?
Yes, sir.
And then we have to go to table 3A. And so table 3A going to give us what is the answers? So let me just close that. 2.95. Okay. So I didn't expect that we have this. All right. So can somebody tell me what is the answer for 2.95 here? So we're going to go to table number 3A. We're going to go to 2.9 and 0.05 that we have here, which is 0.9984. Are we good?
Yes.
So that would be the final answers. Do we have to subtract from 1?
Yes. No, we don't.
No. We have it like less than, so we don't subtract from 1. And so that's pretty much the thing. Are we good?
No, don't we have to show our work with the graph?
No, the graph is the chart right here.
The chart. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
We need to show up the chart in this case, where we're going to do the z-score, and so this is what we have to do for 2.9 and 0.05. Okay, and then the work that we have right here would be 0.9984. Are we good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me do one more questions, okay?
Okay.
Let me just take questions that sounds easy. Did we do like the lions or problems like that?
Yeah.
Did we do question number 51? I think we did.
Yeah.
Did we do question number 50? I think no, right? Let's do it again. I think 50 was the question that we have in the quiz.
Yeah, we did 50, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. All right. So which question should I do? Did we do question number 25? No.
Oh. Walmart? No.
No. Walmart? No. Okay, let's do it again. And if we do it, please do it again. And I want to copy and paste questions right there. Question 5. And so the thing that we have right here. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Do we agree? We're going to highlight them with respect to the mean. So when the question gives us the mean and standard deviation, that we definitely going to use the transformations, right? And so this is the x, and the question is asking it, what is the probability that the actual cost will exceed the budget, right? Exceed the budget. So the thing is, we need to look for the probability, right? The probability of x exceeds the budget, right? Exceed the budget mean greater than. Exceed mean greater. Greater than 210, 230. Okay, so what we need to do, just rewrite them as the probability of x greater than 230. And we convert to the z. There's this question, give us the n. No, right? So this question doesn't give us the n. So we're not gonna use the thing that we have. So remember, the n should be given on the report. So we're gonna take the z equal to, so we're gonna take the x minus the means. So that'll be 230 minus 250. And then after that, we divide it by the standard deviations. So the standard deviation equal to 17. And so can somebody help me do the calculation real quick? Open the parentheses, right? We need to open it. I don't know what's happening to me, but I always forgot the parentheses right there.
It's going to be negative 1.17.
Yeah, so that's going to be negative 1.17. And that's pretty much the thing that we need to do. I guarantee you that is the correct answers. And we're going to get negative 1.17. And so you know that this is negative, correct? So we're going to go to table number 3.
3, yeah.
Yep, table 3. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so what we should do, we need to go to negative 1.1 and 0.07. So 1.1 and 0.07. So we're gonna get the answer, which is 0.121, right? And so this part we're gonna take 0.121. Do we have to subtract from 1 in this case?
Yes.
Yes, we have to subtract from 1, and because the size is greater than, so we're gonna take 1 minus 0.121, and which is 0.879. Correct?
Yes.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. And of course, we need to sketch the chart, like from negative 1.1 to 0.07 in order to get this part. So now we're going to go to the part B of the questions. So the part B of the question is going to give us the following things. Okay. I feel like doing that is actually so much quicker than doing on a board. I don't have to write down a question. And so for this type of question, what is the difference between A and B? You can see that.
It has N.
And very good. And we can check that. The N equal to 9 Walmart store. And the probability. And this is the mean that we have here is exceed the budget of 248. So we're going to rewrite this questions in terms of the probability of x greater than 248, correct? This is x. But the one thing that we need to pay attention is that it gives us the n. So the transformation should be different from what we have right here. So the n in this case equal to 9. And so when we apply to the transformation, we gotta be really careful. So now the thing that we need to do is that we're going to convert it to the z-score. And we're gonna do like a z equal to what? We're gonna take the x, which is 248, minus the mean is 250. I forgot the parentheses again. I apologize. So that should be parentheses. And after that, we divide it by what?
17.
17.
And yeah.
But are we finished?
No.
No, we need to multiply by
9.
No, not 9. It's radical 9. Right? Square root. So again, if the question gives us the n, okay, I forgot to put them there. If the question gives us n, and so the transformation that we have to do will be the z. I forgot to put them down. I apologize. Equal to x minus. It should be x bar, but you know, x minus the mean, and divided by the standard deviation, and multiply by radical n. Multiply by radical n, and that's pretty much the thing that we need to do. So I apologize. I forgot to put this down. Now we're gonna go back to this type of questions. And when we do the math right here, then we're gonna take 248, remember open the parentheses, minus 250, and then we divide it by 17, right? And then we multiply by the second, and the square root of 9. And we close the parentheses, we're gonna get the answer, which is negative 0.35. Are we good? Okay, so we're gonna replace that by negative 0.35. Are we good?
Yes.
So after that, what should we do?
Gotta go to table 3.
We're gonna go to table 3 because this guy is negative. Table 3. So the chart going to give us negative 0.3 and 0.05. So we're gonna get 0.3632, correct?
Yeah.
And then we subtract everything by 1, and we're gonna get the final answers correctly. So so this one you're gonna get a 1 minus I forgot.
3632.
3632. I'm sorry about that. And we're gonna do it on a calculator. 1 minus 0.3632, and so that's pretty much the answer is 0.63.
6368.
68. I'm sorry, 6368, and that's pretty much it. Okay. So again, the reason why we have to subtract by 1 because the question gives us the keyword exists, the size greater than. So we have to do that. So we're gonna make a chart along the way, and that's pretty much a thing that we need to do.
So do you lose a point if you don't do the chart?
Yeah, we lose point if you don't do. How do I know if you get the answers from?
Because you clearly seen the answers.
No. Where do you get there? And so we're gonna go to like negative 0.3, and then 0.05.
We have to show the chart on the working out when we're submitting it.
Yeah, when we submit it, you need to show the chart when we submit the work. Remember, you can't show the work using this, right? You cannot do that. We literally cannot do that. Okay, so but you can do so when you show it on the chart, and similarly, that we show work for this part. And the word that we have here is negative 1.1 and then 0.07. And the thing that we have is 0.121. Okay, so we finished chapter 7. So remember, most point will be on chapter 7. Remember that. And now we're going to go to chapter 8, correct? What is chapter 8? Should we do... I feel like we did every single question regarding...
For chapter 8.
Yeah, chapter 8
Oh,
we
we
did.
just went
Part 1,
over
2, and
it.
3.
We did.
Unless we want to do it again.
Because you couldn't find one before.
I think I couldn't find one before. I apologize. So what is the key word for chapter 8? So confidence interval, right? So what is that? What is question number 44 asking us to do? What is the minimum sample size? When you see the keyword like that, what should we do? We have to solve for the n.
The E?
Right. It's going to be DF equals N minus 1.
No, we're not going to do that. We only do that when we see the S. Yeah. When we see the,
Oh, okay. Yes. I'm looking at the notes. Yes.
we literally have to do that. So let me just point out the trick right here. I mean, when I point out all the trick, what's the point of testing anyway? So, okay, I'll do that. So whenever I see the snack, right, and we have to do the T.
Right.
T, and then we're going to do the DF equal to n minus 1. Okay? Whenever we saw the symbol we call sigma. What is the sigma? The sigma is the chalky O that we have. And then we have to do the Z. We don't do n minus 1 in this case, right? So this one we go to table, we do table 4. This one we do table 4. And this one we do table 3. Okay? This one we do table 3. 3B. Are we good? So I think we did every single question. I don't think that we can do anything for this part. So let's do it again, right?
Yeah.
So question number 36. Let's do this question again. And let's check them out. So again, I apologize. I did not have enough questions, but since, this has always been the case. Okay. So what is the keyword for that? So we can analyze the keyword. You see the little sigma right here? Little things here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we have to do the Z.
That's the fixed model.
The sigma. We have to do the Z.
Right.
Okay. So again, the keyword for chapter A is confidence interval. Construct 90% confidence interval. So we're going to write down the question. So the n equal to 40. So we analyze that. And then the x bar is 7.74. So what we need to do, so n would not be given. You have to understand n have to be the whole number. N equal to 40. And then we have the x bar equal to 7.74. And then we also have this, the standard deviations, which is 3.4. And then we also have the confidence interval, which we call CI.
0.9. Oh.
90%. Where is it? Right. And so now when we look at the chart, we have to go to the table number, table 3B, correct? 3B is right there. Okay, yeah. So what is the 3B? The 3B is this one.
1.645.
1.645. Very fast, very efficient. I like that. Yeah, but you gotta wait for other people, and just want to be fair. Okay, so you're gonna see that 90% is 1.645. Correct? Are we good? And so the error bar that we compute would be E equal to the Z times the standard deviations and over its radical N. Okay, so the Z is 1.645. And multiply by the standard deviation, so standard deviation 3.4. And then we divide it by the square root of 40, right?
Let's say your phone cut off again.
Oh, my phone is cutting off again. Yes, because I cannot change. If I change my connection, I'm going to lose you guys. I think I need to go back there again. So I apologize. Is that clear? Okay, so we're going to take 1.645 times 3.4. And then we divide it by the square root of, so we're going to hit the seconds and then do that. And then we click enter and we got the answer, which is 0.88, right? So keep me 2 decimal number for this type of questions. We're going to get this done. Are we good?
Yes.
After we compute the error, so we're going to set up 90% confidence, so 90%, so we are 90% sure, 90% confidence interval for what? For the population mean that we're going to rewrite this as here. And so what is the, we're going to get the X bar minus the error. And we're going to take X bar, we add the error. Okay, so all we need to do, we're going to take the X bar is what? X bar is 7.74 minus the error value is 0.88, and then 7.74 plus 0.88. And I'm pretty sure all of you can do these calculations, correct? And so, and then we're gonna do the math. 7.74 minus 0.88. We got the answer, which is 6.86. And we're gonna do it again for 7.74. That's 0.88. We got the answer, which is 8.62. Finish. Okay, so this question we're done, and now we're gonna go to the next questions, where we need to look for S, right? We look for snack. Can somebody pick me a snack question that we haven't done? I think we haven't done question number 52, right? Did we do 52?
Yeah, we did 52.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save for the last question to do, but we did that. Yeah. Did we do question 46? No. I think no. Yeah. So let's do this question.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry?
I just said, oh yeah, we didn't do that one. I'm surprised, but okay. Let's do it.
We're surprised. Anyhow. I'm surprised we haven't done this question. I'm very surprised I haven't done this question either. So now we going to analyze that part. We're surprised that, so the mean time will be X bar. Oops, I should use slightly, the mean time is X bar, and then the S, whenever you see the S, and 95% confidence. And we also have the N equal to 30. And so whenever you see the S right there, then we definitely have to do the T. Correct? So what the question looks like, I might want to save some space right there. So I can finish up the 8 right here, and then I'll let you guys go. I can't even let you go. I'm going to end the meeting. I'm just kidding. And so the T in this case, so now I'm going to put them down, N equal to 30. Right? So whenever you see the S, the snack, and the core, we're going to do the DF immediately. So the DF in this case will be n minus 1. Correct? So what is n minus 1? So n
29.
will be 29 for sure. And so after that, we have the x bar. The x bar that we have given is 7.64. Did you guys spend 7 hours to study for the exam?
I spent 9.
9 hours. Okay, that's not sure. You should say I spend the whole day studying.
Not at all. No truth to that at all.
Okay. No, this is what the question telling me from the academic procrastination. That is so weird. Anyhow, how do you know academic procrastination? Never heard of that before. Procrastination. Yeah, we want to be lazy a little bit, but anyhow, this is 3.A. So 3.A, and the confidence interval is 95%. 95%. So we convert to 0.95. Okay, so the first step that we're gonna go to the t. Okay, so the t score at 95 and 29. So at 95, 29, you can go to table number 4. Remember, when it comes to something like that, we need to go to table 4. Let me just point it out right here. When it comes to the t, then we go to table 4. Okay, so can somebody tell me what is 0.95 and 29? So 29 is right here, right? And then 0.95, which is this column. And I go to this one. So the answer would be 2.045, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so 29 and that one. So 2.045. Usually something hard would be on the exam. I'm more likely to put this question. This question is so funny, like academic procrastination. That was 2.045. I did not make this question, to be honest. I used a test chain to help make this question. How is that possible if people make up this question like that? Okay. So the error bar would be the E equal to, not the Z, I'm sorry, the T times S over radical N. Correct? And what is the T value? So we're going to take 2.045. And then we multiply by the sample standard deviation is 3.8. And then we divide it by its radical. Radical what?
29.
No. 29 degree freedom. And it still be 30. Yeah. So remember, and still be 30. Okay, very important. So we're going to take 2.045 times 3.8. And then we divide it by, hit the square root of 30. And you hit enter. And we're going to get 1.41. Correct? I mean 1.42. Just want to make sure that we round up a little bit. So so the answer is 1.42. Okay, so I'm really I'm just really curious how many hours people put down on the exam for all the people who study psychology. And let me check them. So the thing is X bar minus the error, and X bar, we add the error. Okay, so the X bar in this case that we got is 7.64, and we subtract the error bar, 7.64 minus 1.42, and then we take 7.64 plus 1.42. And then, so, and of course, we're going to do these two computations for that part. So 7.64 minus 1.42 and 7.64 plus 1.42. 6.22 and 9.06. Okay. 6.22 and 9.06. So one person said I spent 9 hours. That is close to the maximum hour that people might have. So the average should be about it between 6 hours and 9 hours. I never spend more than 6 hours on the exam. I usually spend, when I was a student a long time ago, I usually spend at most 2 hours. That's it. Because when you study frequently, you don't really have to spend too much hours, too many hours. Unless you try to claim on the exam, that is not healthy for your brain, for our brain generally. So,
yeah, it's definitely not healthy for my brain. No way.
No way. So now we're gonna do question number 45. Are we good? Question number 45. And then you claim that you study 9 hours. What a joke.
We did 45 already.
Oh, we did 45 already? We did 45. Can we do it again? I feel like we're running out of the questions. Oh, okay, we have one more question that we haven't done. Okay. This is the question that we might, do we do 32? No, right? Definitely no. Let's do this question number 32. Yeah, 32. Okay. And I'm gonna make it a little bigger for that part. 16. Okay. And even bigger. Okay, that works. So now we're gonna look at this part, the mean that we have. There's no mean, there's no average, right? So remember, if the question doesn't give us the average, that's pretty much the thing that we're going to do with the n. Okay, so since the question, there's no x bar, no x bar, no x bar. So we look for the n. So this is the part. Okay. So, and then also if you don't see them, that's fair enough. Then we can see that how many stern. And of course, when you see a keyword like that, we look for the n. Okay. So anyone know what is the single form that we need to put in there? So we're given by the standard deviation is 4.7, and we are being told that the confidence interval is 99%. 99%. So I'm not going to post the chart because I don't have enough space for that part. So what is the 99%, everybody? 99%. Let me go back to the nodes. 99% is 2.58, correct? So
Yeah.
I get a z-score 2.58. And 2.58. And what else do we need to do? We have the sigma. We need to find the E, the error, right? Can somebody tell me what the error is? When you read the questions, right? So we need this, the sigma is 4.7 and then 99% confident interval. The keyword within. Everybody sees that? After the keyword will be the E, very likely. So the E in this case will be equal to 1. Are we good? Now we're gonna do the n. The formula for that will be equal to the z times the standard deviations over the error barrel, and take the square for this part. Okay. So can somebody tell me what it is? So the z in this case is 2.58, correct? Multiplied by, what is the standard deviations? 4.7. And then we divide it by 1, right? Because the error barrel is 1 hours. And then we take the square. All right, so I want to see how many people should we sample, should we collect to get this done. So we're going to open the parentheses, right? We're going to take 2.58 times 4.7. And then we divide it by 1, right? We divide it by E. So usually most of the question not 1. So making sure that we divide it. And then we close the parentheses. And then we hit the square. Remember, when you hit the square, do not take the second. You just hit the square right here. We're done. We hit the square, do not take the second. And then we hit enter. We got 147.03. Are we good? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's it. And sometimes it's better to route up for the end because the end cannot be like that's what you don't have like 147.03 student. So very likely sometimes we need to route up to 148 in this case. Okay, so but either way, we're gonna give you full credit for that. So don't worry about this. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the exam 2 review done. And I wish you guys are going to study very effectively on the exam. And don't spend 9 hours. That doesn't work. Trust me. Okay, don't cram. Don't cram for the exam. But at least you guys are going to practice those questions, right? So very similar to what we have on the practice exam 2. And just practice as many times as you can. So I'm going to grade the last 10. Okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your grade. But if you do so, it doesn't count toward the second exam grade. But if you get like the well on it, I'm going to add 5 points to the second exam. Or if you get more than 70 on the second exam, if you get less than 70, I'm going to add 5 points. But if you get like 95, I'm not going to add anything. If you get like 90, I'm not going to add anything. If you get 85, I'm not going to add 5 points on it. But if you get like 64, so I'm going to add 5 points, get 69 on the second exam.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get 64 then.
Oh, that's really that's really pessimistic. Well, I mean, I rather take 95 instead of 65. But so if you get more than 70 on a second exam, what's happening? So let's say you get 95 on it. So you do the practice exam. Let's say you do it 3 times, and I feel like the last attempt did really well. So I'm gonna replace the lowest quiz on it. Okay, you can check them.
So quiz 5 is gonna be posted, or we're not gonna have a quiz 5?
Quiz 5 will be posted after the second exam. That will be on chapter 9.
Okay.
Hey, are there ever any final exam exemptions?
Not really. So the final exam still be on May 21st, I believe. I can make the final exam a little bit early for us, maybe May 19, so that we can take the final exam over there.
So we're still gonna be meeting after Thursday, right?
No, we're not gonna meet. We're not gonna meet after the final exam. I'm gonna grade your final and then post the grade in Blackboard. And that's it. We're not gonna see each other again. I don't even see you. I just hear you. But anyhow,
Next Tuesday, are we gonna meet?
Next Thursday.
Tuesday.
No, Tuesday. Yes, we do. But we're not gonna see each other on Thursday. But we're gonna hear it again on Tuesday. We're gonna have a lecture on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that too.
Yeah. So on Thursday we're not gonna see each other. So we just take the exam on Blackboard. You submit all your works here, and that's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna grade the test very soon. Okay.
So the practice exam, where can we submit the work that we did?
No, the practice exam you don't have to submit work. Just do it.
Okay.
Just get the answers and then see that the attempt that you make. That's fair. I mean, this is nothing. This is just something that we practice before the exam. Okay. Are we good?
What time is the test available to you said?
Perfecto.
The test will be available on Thursday. Thursday, 8 a.m. Okay, so you can take the exam anytime you want until 11:59 p.m. So after 11:59 p.m., it will be closed. So making sure that you're not gonna start at 11:59 p.m. You have to start at around 8 p.m. if you want to. You have 3.5 an hour to do so. So the due date will be 11:59 p.m. Okay.
Good. That's good. Thank you.
Thursday.
Thank you,
All right.
Professor.
All right. Thank you, Professor. See
You
you
guys
Thursday.
going to have a great day. Stay home, stay safe, and enjoy your day.
Okay.
Take care.